Hello everyone, welcome back to another taekook one shot. Hope you will enjoy it. This one is top day, so please love it. The office was quite expensive for the sound of typing and faint hum of air conditioners. Kim Taehyung, the cold CEO, stood tall behind the glass walls of his cabin, his sharp eyes following every detail that moved inside the company. To others, he looked untouchable, like a man carved out of stone. But Jungkook, his secretary, had spent years by his side. He knew the silence, the moods, the small, and lately Jungkook had started noticing something that made his chest edge. Soha, his old best friend, has joined the company last week, and Theo's cold eyes seemed softened when he landed on her. Jungkook thinking, why does he smile like that to her? He never smiled at me like that, not once. Jungkook lowered his eyes to the files in his hand, biting his inside of his cheek. He knew he was being ridiculous. Taehyung was his boss, not his lover. Still, his heart beat painfully each time he saw that rare softness delicated at someone else. Taehyung's cabin. Taehyung. Jungkook bring in the quarterly reports. Jungkook Yesa, his voice quiet almost. Taehyung barely looked up, already scanning through the documents, his brown brows frowning in concentration. But when Jungkook turned to leave, Taehyung's voice stopped him. Taehyung, wait. Jungkook turns back slowly. Yes, Taehyung, you have been quite these days. Jungkook nervous smile. I didn't realize, sir. I will try to be more attentive. Taehyung frowning. That's not what I meant. Pauses, his voice dropping softer. Are you okay? Jungkook breathed catch for a moment. His heart betrayed him, thudding loudly because Kim Taehyung was asking if he was okay, but then he remembered Taehyung had been softer with Soha too. Maybe this was just his new side, a side Jungkook wasn't especially enough to deserve. Jungkook forcing a small smile. I'm fine. Thank you for asking. He bowed slightly and left, his chest heavy. Taehyung's eyes lingered on his closed door longer than he expected. Later that afternoon, Soha entered Jungkook Taehyung's cabin with a report. Her laughter filled the space. Jungkook stood beside, holding his tablet, his clenches turning white. Soha laughing. See, Kim, you should rest sometimes. You are too serious. Taehyung, a rare clutch. Perhaps, but someone has to keep this company running. Jungkook swelled hard. The sound of that clutch, so rare, so warm, felt like a knife. Entry. Soha, exciting. Cookie, can you believe I am working here and your boss is so different from what people say? He's kind actually. Jungkook forcing a smile. Yeah, he can be kind, so I think he even likes me. Did you see the way he looked at me earlier? It's like he wasn't cold at all. Jungkook's stomach dropped. He forced a laugh, pretending to be casual, but inside a storm was tearing through him. That night, the office was almost empty. Only a few lights burned in the top floor. Jungkook, as always, stayed late to finish Taehyung's schedule for tomorrow. He carried a cup of coffee into Taehyung's cabin. Jungkook, here is your coffee, sir. Taehyung, without looking up, you shouldn't stay so late. Jungkook softly, I don't mind. As Jungkook set the cup down, his fingers bruised the edge of Taehyung's hand. Just an accident, but it was enough to make his heart escape. Jungkook, as Taehyung glanced at him then, and for a moment their eyes locked. Jungkook felt heart grip up his neck. Taehyung, quietly, don't overwork yourself. Jungkook froze. Why did he sound so gentle? Jungkook thinking, stop it, don't fall for this. He doesn't care. He smiles at her, not you. Jungkook's apartment late night. Jungkook sat by his small desk, staring at his resignation letter. His fingers trembled as he typed. Jungkook thinking, I can't do this anymore. Watching him look at her like that, it hurts too much. Better to leave before I break completely. His phone buzzed. A message from Taehyung. Taehyung text, did you reach home safely? Jungkook stared at the screen, shocked. Taehyung never texted him unless it was about work. His chest tightened painfully. Why was he being like this now, when Jungkook had already decided to let go? Jungkook replying after a long pause, Yes, sir. Thank you. He put his phone face down, his eyes burning with unshed tears. Taehyung's apartment. Taehyung put his phone down too, restless. He didn't know why he asked Jungkook that. It wasn't like him to care about such things, but lately the sight of Jungkook's distant eyes bothered him. Taehyung thinking, why do I feel guilty? He's my secretary, that's all. But his heart didn't agree. That night grew heavier. Two hearts beat silently in different rooms, one trying to let go, the other restless for reasons he couldn't understand. Neither of them slept well that night. The office lights may have been up, but inside a slow fire had begun to burn. The next morning, the office looked the same. White lights, polished floors, the steady rhythm of his clicking across the lobby. But for Jungkook, everything felt heavier. His resignation letter sat quietly in his laptop folder, waiting for the right moment. He walked into Taehyung's office with his usual quiet grace. He files balanced neatly in his arms, his smile polite, but Taehyung's cabin. Jungkook, here are today's schedule, sir. I have arranged your lunch meeting with the investors, and Taehyung interrupting, frying. Sit. Jungkook blinked. Surprised, he never sat unless told during meetings. Slowly, he lowered himself into the chair opposite Taehyung's desk. Jungkook slowly, did I make a mistake in the schedule? Taehyung leaning back, voice sharp. Why are you avoiding me? The words hit Jungkook like thunder. His fingers tightened on his lap. Jungkook forcing calm. I'm not avoiding you, sir. I have been just busy. Taehyung eyes narrowing. Busy? You barely look at me when I speak. You answer me like a robot when your reports feel rushed. Taehyung's tone carried frustration, but underneath it, something Pringle, something he didn't wanted to name. Jungkook looked down. I'm sorry, I'll fix it. Taehyung quietly, almost a whisper, that's not what I want. The last word slipped out. Before Taehyung could stop himself, he quickly picked up a pen, pretending to be absorbed in the papers. Jungkook bowed his head, excused himself, and left. His chest trembled with questions he couldn't dare ask. Office hallway. Soha spotted Jungkook passing by. She waved cheerfully, holding a folder. Soha, Cookie, can you please help me with these files? CEO Kim said you are the best with organizing file data. Jungkook forced a smile, helping her carry the folders to her desk. He noticed them standing by the glass wall of his cabin, watching them. His gaze was unreadable, sharp, almost burning. Evening, empty office. Most employees had left. Only a few lights flickered on the top floor. Jungkook was arranging file in the conference room when he realized someone was standing at the door. It was Taehyung. Taehyung stunned. Why are you still here? Jungkook, without looking up, I had to finish the reports. You don't like delays, Taehyung. His name rolled off Taehyung's lips softer than usual, and Jungkook froze. Taehyung, why are you pushing me away? Jungkook started trying to sound calm. I'm not. Taehyung cutting him off, frustrated. You are. I can feel it. You used to stay beside me no matter how harsh I was, but now it feels like you are slipping away. The silence that followed was heavy. Jungkook's hand trembled as Jungkook whispering, maybe you wouldn't notice if I'm gone. Taehyung's breath catch. He stepped forward, grabbing Jungkook's wrist before he could leave. Jungkook angrily, but his voice shaking. Don't say that. Don't you dare say that. Jungkook eyes widening, whispering, why does it matter to you? Taehyung stared at him, his chest rising and falling, his heart pounding too loudly for his liking. He didn't understand it himself why Jungkook's distance felt like betrayal, why the thought of losing him made his throat tighten. Taehyung softly struggling because you matter. Taehyung's cabin later, Jungkook tried to leave again, but Taehyung pulled him into his office, closing the door. Taehyung's voice rough. Tell me, Jungkook, did I do something wrong? Why do you look at me like I'm a stranger? Jungkook tears welling, shaking his head. You didn't do anything wrong, that's the problem. Taehyung confused, frustrated. What does that even mean? Jungkook breaking, whispering. It means you will never see me the way I see you. The words slip out like a confession he couldn't take back. Jungkook's eyes widened as soon as they left his lips, his heart racing. In panic, he turned quickly, reached for, but Taehyung's hand slammed against the door, trapping him there. Taehyung breathing heavily, his voice trembling. What did you say? What did you just say? Jungkook tears falling, whispering, forget it. Please forget it. Taehyung's chest felt like it was breaking up. When he grabbed Jungkook's shoulders, turning him around to face him, Taehyung raw, almost pleading, don't hide from me. Tell me the truth, Jungkook. Jungkook sobbing softly, I like you, I always have. But you don't see me. You never will, so it's better if I leave before it hurts more. The silence that followed was deafening. He closed his eyes, fighting the storm inside him. No, he wasn't ready to name it, not yet, but he couldn't let Jungkook slip away. Taehyung softly trembling, I don't know what this is, but the thought of you leaving makes me feel like I can't breathe. Jungkook's tears slowed. He looked up at Taehyung, his lips parted, his chest ached at the sight of the man he loved, not cold, untouchable, but raw and vulnerable. The air between them buzzed with unspoken words. Their faces were close, too close, and yet Taehyung didn't move further. He only let his forehead rest against Jungkook's for a brief, trembling second before stepping back. Taehyung heard a whisper, don't resign, not yet. And just like that, the wall between them cracked, not enough to let the flow through, but enough for both of them to see what lay beyond it. Two hearts trembling in the silence, both too afraid to fall, but already falling. The days that followed their conversation felt different. The office looked the same, glass walls, sharp suits, quiet hum of printers, but the air between Jungkook and Taehyung carried something heavy, trembling, alive. Jungkook still kept his distance, but his eyes would betray him, sometimes lingering too long on Taehyung. And Taehyung, it wasn't himself anymore. His presence snapped easily, his gaze followed Jungkook unknowingly, and his chest tightened whenever Soha laughed with him in the pantry of his morning. Soha smiling, holding Jungkook's coffee. I brought one for you, Cookie. You looked tired yesterday. Jungkook smiled politely, though his heart wasn't in it. He was too aware of the burning stare behind the glass walls. Taehyung was watching again, his jaw tight, his pen pressing too hard against the papers. Taehyung thinking, frustrated. Why does it bother me. He's just talking. It shouldn't matter. Taehyung's cabin later. Taehyung is snapping closer than usual. Jungkook in my office now. Jungkook in Turkey. His heart pounding. Jungkook sharply. Yes, sir. Taehyung, voice sharp, eyes burning. Do you like her? Soha? Jungkook started blinking. What? No. Sir, she is just my friend. Taehyung cutting him off, voice shaking with jealousy. Then why do you smile at her like that? Jungkook hurt his voice trembling because she is the only one here who treats me like a matter. The words hit Taehyung harder than he expected. His hands clenched into a fist. He looked at Jungkook, really looked and realized the truth. Jungkook had always mattered to him. He was just too blind, too afraid to admit it. Taehyung softly, now you matter to me. The confession slipped out before he could stop it. Jungkook froze, his breath catch in his throat, but before he could reply, a knock on the door broke this moment. It was Soha. Soha hesitant, looking between them. See you came. I wanted to say something. Taehyung composed himself. Go ahead. Soha softly with the sad smile. I thought maybe you could like me. I misread things, but now I see where your eyes really are. She glances at Taehyung, so I will leave. I don't want to stand between whatever this is. Jungkook's eyes widen, his chest tightening. Taehyung looked at her, silent but grateful. Soha smiling through sadness. Take care of him. See Kim. He is someone precious. With that, she walked out, leaving behind a silence too loud to ignore. Later that night, the city lies blurred under heavy rain. Jungkook stood alone on the rooftop, letting the drops soak him. His mind storm of emotions. He felt Taehyung's presence before him. He saw him, Taehyung, holding an umbrella, voice rough. You will get sick. Jungkook without turning. That's easier than this. Taehyung is stepping closer, frustrated. Easier than what? Than me? Jungkook finally turning, his eyes wet with rain and tears. Yes, because loving you hurts, Taehyung. Every time you smile at someone else, every time you looked off through me, it feels like I am breaking. Taehyung's chest tightened playfully. Painfully, he dropped the umbrella, letting the rain drench him too. Eyes locked on Jungkook. Taehyung hearts finally breaking. Then break me too. Because I can't stop looking at you, Jungkook. Can't stop feeling this. The words came raw, desperate, true than anything he had ever said. Jungkook's lips parted, his heart trembling at the sight of the man who once seemed untouchable, now standing broken before him. Taehyung stepped closer, voice low, trembling. I love you, and I don't know when it started. I don't know how to be gentle with it. Know this, I love you, Jungkook. The rain fell harder, but Jungkook's tears were warmer. He stepped into Taehyung's arms, putting his face against his chest. Jungkook whispering through tears, I have waited so long to hear that. Taehyung's apartment that night. The walls of Taehyung's cold apartment softened. Jungkook sat on the couch wrapped in a towel while Taehyung dried his hair gently with another. Taehyung's soft, almost sigh. I should have realized sooner. I was blind. Jungkook is smiling softly, teasing. You were more than blind. You were frozen. Taehyung clenching, pulling him closer. Then unfreeze me. Only you can. Their eyes met, trembling, with years of silence finally broken, and then slowly Taehyung leaned in. Their lips bruised, soft at first, hesitant, then deeper, hungrier, years of longing pouring into one kiss. Jungkook's hand gripping Taehyung's shirt, pulling him closer, their breaths mingling, their hearts racing. The cold sea melts completely in Jungkook's arm. Taehyung between kisses was shaking. Mine, you're mine. Jungkook is smiling, breathless, always was. What began as sigh, trembling touches turned into something deeper, passionate, desperate. Taehyung kissed away Jungkook's tears, whispering promises against his skin, and held him like he was the most precious thing in the world. And Jungkook sighed and nervous, gave himself completely, trusting, loving, glowing under Taehyung's adoration. That night was not just passion but tenderness, laughter between kisses, rapping, whispered I love yous, hands holding tight as if afraid to let go. The fire and the bloom, that was the what they become fire because their love burned fierce and unstoppable bloom because from pain and patience something beautiful finally bloomed. Morning light, the morning sun filtered through the curtains. Jungkook stood awake, finding things arm still around him. His face soft in sleep. Jungkook is smiling softly, whispering, "So much for the cold see you." Taehyung eyes still closed, murmuring, "Cold to the world, warm only for you." Jungkook's heart swelled, tears slipping quietly down the cheeks. He leaned in, kissing Taehyung's forehead gently. The world outside could keep its chaos, its whispers, its judgments. In here, in this quiet room, two hearts had finally found home, and that was all they needed. The end. Hey everyone, I hope you are all doing well. I don't know what is happening to me. I am frequently having cough and cold and sneezing a lot. I consulted a doctor but nothing is helping me. So if you are anyone of you know anything about it, please comment me down. And yeah, please take care of yourself. See you again. Bye bye. Bye.